Hi, Katie.
Hello.
Hi, this is going to be our podcast. Did you know that we were doing a podcast?
I did, luckily.
You did? I don't think anybody else knew.
No, so. I don't. I think we've told like 1-2 people.
Maybe, but this is, it's going to be the Guilty as Sim podcast.
Very nice pun there. Love it.
Isn't it? You came up with it, so it is pretty good.
Did I?
I think so.
I thought it was Aaron.
Maybe it was.
It might be Aaron Moriarty.
It might be Aaron Moriarty.
Sorry
for not giving you credit, Aaron.
But more importantly,
this is the Guilty as Sim podcast, which is going to be an R-rated podcast.
I'm going to be swearing.
Katie's going to swear. I'm going to swear. Not that that's a shock.
That's not a shock.
No.
I think people get the impression that I don't swear. In general life.
Can you give me a fuck?
That's a strange thing to take out of context. Fuck. Fuckaroo.
You all heard it. You heard it here first on the Guilty as Sim podcast.
Yeah. But I swear like a sailor. Renee knows this because we have, chats and we play other games and stuff. And yeah, it's just, I just like my peafrogsims brand to be like family friendly. But this
I know
this is on your channel, so who cares?
You're so sweet and so cute, and I'm so not.
I'm not, though.
I'm so not. I started, actually, fun fact, I started my YouTube channel as a family-friendly channel.
How long did that last?
Not very long. It was real quick.
I think I said fuck once on Twitch, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Shame on you.
Shame on me.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
So we weren't really sure what to start the first episode with. So we went to Twitter and made people create our content for us by asking us questions.
I do love crowdsourcing content. It's the best way to make content as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. So yeah, we got some questions that we're going to kind of ask each other, I guess, and chat about. And hopefully you'll find this interesting and it's not just two people that you don't care about chatting shit for like an hour.
I do think that before we get to the questions, I think that maybe we should talk about our first memory with The Sims.
Ooh.
Right?
Okay. Well, I didn't have The Sims first. I saw it around a friend's house and then I wanted to get it, which I think is a lot of people's stories.
That makes sense.
And I was like 8 years old at this point. So I'm around my friend Amy's house. I was about to say her full name. I don't feel like I should full name her.
Don't dox people on this podcast.
So around Amy's house, and we're playing with the Goth family, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I think, as you do, and I think that Mortimer Goth died. And so we were like, let's quit the game so that we can come back into it and he'll still be alive. Only I accidentally pressed save and quit as opposed to quit without saving.
Oh, no.
And she was quite devastated.
Poor Mortimer.
I know.
R.I.P. in peace, Mortimer.
Absolutely. So that's my first. This is Sims 1, of course, if anybody is curious.
Yeah. So I was lucky enough that I was the one that had The Sims
at
my house. See, I know.
That's very cool.
It was very cool. And my two next door neighbors, Ashley and Stephanie, hello, Ashley and Stephanie, would come over so we could all play The Sims together. But by play The Sims together, I mean that me and Ashley, who were the older two, made Stephanie just kind of like sit in the corner of the room and watch us. And every single time we played, we were like, don't worry, it's going to be your turn soon. And it was never Stephanie's turn.
So
I think I was
mean.
like, I know, we were awful. I think I was about 12 at this point. And we would not let her play. But I was a big fan of, what was his name? Michael Batchelor. Was that his name?
Oh, yeah. The Bachelor family.
Loved him. And I would always put him in that weird little house that had like the patio off of the bedroom for no good reason. And I would always put like a treadmill out there and just make him run like a fucking hamster on this treadmill. That was like the only thing that I ever did, was just make him run on this treadmill constantly.
Do you know who I really miss from the Sims franchise? Is Bob and Betty Newbie.
There was Bob and Betty Newbie. I did like them.
Where the fuck did they go? They were like because they weren't they like the tutorial family?
They were.
In Sims 1 or something? Yeah.
Yes. They did recreate them for Sims 4, but they're just in the gallery.
Yeah, that's not the same. They should be in there.
I agree. They should have just been like in the game, because we still have the Goths. We have the land grabs. I don't know. Were the land grabs in the first game, or did they show up in the second game?
No, I can't remember.
I can't either.
The second game is very much about them.
Yes.
So I don't know. The Sims 1 was such a mishmash of whatever the fuck they wanted to put in it, and it didn't really make any sense. And then it wasn't until like they started doing the second game that they actually thought, maybe we should have some sort kind of like storyline that makes sense with this. But they had their little stories, all the families. But I think it was the fact that nobody could like grow old.
Yes. Yeah, that was a big thing. That was weird.
It was weird because you just play with a family forever.
Just forever. That was I don't understand the logic behind that. I don't know. Maybe it was like a programming thing. I don't know. I don't understand computers or how video games work. So
yeah, that was the big thing about The Sims 2 that was so exciting. Was that
they could age.
They could get older. Yeah. They could have birthdays. What?
So exciting.
That was insane. I remember when I saw the ads to that, I was like, that is a game changer. What? Yep. They can age?
I have this like weird mental fog when it comes to The Sims 2.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely don't even remember playing it when it came out, but I have it on disc. My mom found it in the basement a couple months ago, so I owned it. But I do not recall playing it.
I remember playing it because I definitely had the university expansion for it. And I was very into it. When I was probably about 15 when university arrived. Yeah. I'm just thinking from the top of my head, I can't fucking remember when these expansions came out. Going to university was like the coolest thing I could think of.
Yes.
And they had like dorm rooms, which is funny because like when I went to uni, we didn't have dorm rooms. Like I had my own bedroom. Sharing a room with someone, that sounds insane. And it's just such an American thing that just sounds absolutely batshit to me.
I didn't have to do that, so.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Just, ugh.
I don't even want to share my room with my husband sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, Rob, I love you. He's not going to listen to this. He doesn't even watch my TikTok, so it's fine.
Oh, that's sad.
I know. He's very supportive. He just doesn't watch it.
No, that's fair.
It's fine. I'm not upset about it.
Oh, should we do the questions?
Yeah, let's do you want to ask the first question or do you want me to ask the first question? How do you want to?
I'll ask it. Why not?
All right.
Yeah, as you can see, like we did discuss this beforehand, but we didn't like plan everything really strictly.
No, not at all.
So
planning is not our strong suit. We're kind of fly by the seat of our pant kind of gals.
Yeah, we do a lot of that.
Yeah.
In the kitty corner and things. I don't know why that popped into my head.
It's a thing, okay? It's just a lot of brown.
This is from, if you haven't seen this, by the way, me and Renee did a weird collab video on YouTube, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was quite a while ago now.
It was
we
so
should do
long
another
ago.
one.
We should. It was really fun. She was describing what her build looked like over audio, and then I had to try and build it. And she kept saying kiddie corner, which I now know is kitty corner, but because you're American, it sounds like a D to me.
Listen,
so I thought it was like child
weird
corner.
Accent.
You don't have a weird accent, though. You just have an American accent. That's fine. But if you said kitty corner, because I don't say my T's.
Kitty corner.
Kitty corner.
Was that good? Was it kitty corner?
It's the way you said corner was a little bit Dick Van Dyke.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Anyway, sorry. I'll ask you the first question.
Okay.
This is why we were like, we haven't got that many questions. And I was like, this is going to be fine.
It's going to be fine.
We're going to need to rattle. We've been talking for 10 minutes already.
Oh my God.
Okay. First question. What were both of your favourite challenges / projects to do? And that is from Mystic Fairy. Hi, Mystic.
Hi, Mystic. So funny story that we were just talking about the collab that we did, because I think that's one of my favorite things that we've done, or that I've done, or we did it together, but that was really fun. I genuinely enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, because so much of content creation is sitting alone.
Yes.
Trying to be funny for other people and imagining that you're kind of doing it to an audience who aren't there.
Yes, but it's very awkward sometimes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Especially, I don't know if you do this when you're recording TikToks. I feel like you're more of the, I did it once and then fuck it. But sometimes I'll say something and like maybe it was a really funny thing that I said off the cuff, but I hit something at the time and so you can't hear it. And then I have to re-record me saying a funny off the cuff thing so that it sounds really spontaneous. And it's
every once in a great while, I do that.
Yeah.
Because I do tend to, like, especially when I do, like, my Sims 911 videos or my Kidnap Simmer videos, I don't plan, like, I have a general vague idea of what, like, the concept behind that video is. And then I'll just sit down and record it and say whatever happens to come to mind. So I'll record it and I'll say something funny, but then, like, a few seconds later, I'll say something that I'm like, wow, that was really fucking stupid. And no one is going to laugh at that. So I'll record the whole thing, but I'll take the funny bits back out and I'll reuse those. So yeah, I definitely do that from time to time. But a lot of the times it's just me recording and just whatever happens, happens. End of story.
And also, I as you said loads of times before about Murder Gauntlet. Wow, couldn't think of the name of it. How much of that is nothing? Oh my God. And you're just sat there for hours.
Just sitting there and staring at the screen going, why do I do this to myself?
The amount of people saying you should live stream it. And then you're like, no. You'd be so bored.
No. Absolutely. You could not pay me. I mean, you could pay me. There's not a lot of things I wouldn't do for money, but I don't want to ever have to live stream Murder Gauntlet. It is, no. I like being able to walk away from it. That's really nice. It's a nice thing to do.
Do you ever miss anything if you've left?
No, I haven't had that happen yet. Thank God. I usually make sure that when I leave, like, I don't have it on like a really quick speed or nothing crazy is going on. Like, it's just them kind of like milling around at that point.
You just kind of got to get through it. Because I suppose the most similar thing for me was when I was doing the 7 Toddler Challenge. Too Many Toddlers is the scenario that I'm doing with fairy tales on TikTok.
Yes.
But most of that is like, literally 10 things will be happening at once.
Yes. Yeah.
So sometimes I can't get the footage of them doing it because I need it of 2 things happening at once. So I'll have to like explain that just happened.
Yes.
And that's really annoying that I'm like, oh, while I was filming this other thing happened in the background. Or, 10 people have just all reached creativity level 4 at once. It's really stressful. But then nothing will happen while they're all eating stuff.
Of course.
So, but yeah, it's quite difficult to get through that one because, like, I can be recording for like 5 minutes and then need to get it down for a minute.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think to sum up this question, my favourite thing to do is collaborative things where you're actually doing it live. Because I've done other fun collabs, but doing it on my own is just not as fun as like being on voice chat and pissing about. And I don't think I've actually done that with anyone other than you.
Well, I mean, I am the best, so.
Of course you are.
I had a Simmer come to my house one time.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, Tommy Sims came to my house. She lives up in Maine, and I'm in New Hampshire, and she's not crazy far away. So her and her boyfriend drove down to my house, and we spent the entire afternoon at my house, like sitting next to each other playing The Sims. It was the coolest thing ever. I invited one of my Sims friends to my wedding.
No.
And she
wasn't
came.
Me.
No, it wasn't. I mean, you could have come, but it would have been really far for you to travel.
It would have been really expensive.
Jen, Kitty Cat Plays with Yarn, came to my wedding.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was the first time we met, was literally like at my wedding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Quite jealous.
We had
stupid
fun.
Because there's so many people in the UK that I know. And like the UK is really small. And I expect the drive from Maine or whatever is less far than meeting most of the people that I talk to from the UK.
Yeah.
But it feels weird.
I drove 4 hours a couple weeks ago to go see a Broadway show, and then I drove 4 hours back home.
What'd you go to see?
We saw 6. I know that's not your favorite. I'm sorry.
It's not my favorite at all.
No. We're planning on going to see Sweeney Todd, though, so.
Who's in it?
Josh Groban.
Yeah, we shouldn't be talking about this.
Anyway.
Hopefully this is exciting. I also have never said my name.
Brain.
My name is Katie, for anybody who doesn't know me. Or Katie, as I normally go. Katie.
Is it? Katie.
Yeah. Katie. Katie Peafrog.
Katie.
Do Do you want to ask me a question too?
I would love to ask you a question. It's not my question. It's Havana Sims' question. Hi, Havana. Yeah. And it's, what is your favorite occult?
This is the easiest question I've ever answered. And spellcasters. I love playing as a spellcaster.
I'm not surprised by that. What
is your favorite occult? Because you're not really into the occults as much.
I don't like occults. But if I had to pick one, shockingly enough, I like the werewolves in The Sims 4.
They are good.
Yeah.
I'd say that they're probably third on my list, but mainly because I haven't been playing The Sims that much in the last few months. So, this is a bit of a random thing for me to be talking about, but, I feel like the last 20 years covers it, really, for how much I've played The Sims.
Yes.
But, yeah, werewolves, kind of cool. The only time I've really played with them is when I was making a machinima, so I was cheating all of the abilities.
Oh, yeah.
So I haven't really done werewolf gameplay yet, but mainly because I've got my Super Sim and I want her to do all the things. And this was the whole reason to do Super Sim, so that I could have a chance to do everything in the game.
That makes sense.
But she's been a spellcaster for so long and I love it. I don't want her to stop being one, to have to be one of the other occults, because she will have to, and I don't know if you get that ability back, because she is the top of everything that you can be as a spellcaster. She's amazing.
See, I don't use occults enough to know if that's a thing, if you get all your stuff back.
I think vampires are second on my list. And then
vampires
werewolves.
Are pretty good.
The skill tree thing.
Yes.
And the way that goes up, that's really awesome. And I wish there was some of that because there's that in Realm of Magic.
Yes.
But island living.
I was just going to say, can we talk about the fact that mermaids are literally the worst?
Oof.
Why?
Aliens are such a mistrick. But compared to mermaids, they have 100 times more content to them. Mermaids
aliens, I can almost forgive aliens because we didn't start getting that skill tree stuff until vampires.
Yeah.
And then we ended up getting it with vampires. It's similar in werewolves. It's similar with spellcasters. It's similar with the fame system. Mm-hmm. But aliens were before that, right? Because they came with Get to Work.
Exactly. So they were still trying out how The Sims 4 was going to work. It was the first occult. Fair enough.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So and we also got Sixam or Sixam. I don't know how you pronounce that. The world, the alien world.
I say Sixam.
Sixam. I don't know. Whatever. Someone will correct us, I'm sure.
We'll just ask Ninja. Dave!
Yeah. Let me text my sim guru. I have a speed dial.
Oh, you would as well.
No, mermaids were a serious disappointment as far as I'm concerned.
Did they have mermaids in Sims 3? I hardly played Sims 3, so I have no idea.
I think so.
Did they do anything other than just flap about?
I don't know, because I don't think that I got really any of the occult packs in The Sims 3 because I just straight up didn't like them.
I just didn't play The Sims 3 that much.
That's fair. I held on to The Sims 3. I held on for dear life when The Sims 4 came out, and I was like, I'm never going to The Sims 4. No. And then the second I switched to The Sims 4, I was like, ew, I hate The Sims 3. It's gross. I want nothing to do with those sad potato people. I'm all set. Thank you.
I hate the art style in Sims 3. I'm sorry, people. Apart from when people use Sims 3 to make machinimas, they look unbelievable.
Yes. But how much custom content are you using, and how is your computer not literally taking off into the sky like an airplane?
I was playing on my MacBook, which doesn't have a graphics card. And that's what I started playing The Sims on. Sims 4, sorry.
Oh my God. You could probably cook on the keyboard at that point.
Oh yeah. We bought a gaming PC because my partner Tony was like, hey, we should get a gaming PC because we both like games and we don't really have one. And I was like, hey, if we did that, I could make a YouTube channel of playing The Sims. That'll be really fun. We have a question a bit later on about which content creators we like, but just as a little precursor, it's because I was watching a lot of James Turner at the time and I was like, I could do that.
Yep.
What am I fucking talking about? I've completely lost my train of thought now.
Occults. We were talking about occults.
Oh, shit.
It's just like a winding road when we start talking.
Right, Alison in Wonderland, hey, asked, how many deaths do you think you've been responsible for across the franchise run? And I mean the Sims ones won't count any actual humans.
If you could see the panic on my face right now.
Do you have any idea?
No.
No.
Let me do a little math for a second, because just in the past few months, I've done 9 seasons of Murder Gauntlet. However, one of those seasons was a double season. So 8 times 8 is 64. Plus 16 is 80. So just in the last few months in Murder Gauntlet alone, I have killed about 75 to 80 Sims.
Incredible. Yeah.
And that's not even counting like just normally killing Sims. But here's the funny thing about me killing Sims. I do it a lot on TikTok and YouTube and things like that. But when I'm playing the game for myself, I am like the nicest person to my Sims. I don't want them to suffer even a little bit. And I get very upset if they do. So in my normal gameplay, I am like the most magnanimous god you could ever imagine.
Okay, so if we're going back to Sims 1 times, I used to make people that I knew in The Sims and kill them.
All the 100%.
Time. And I had one family that was 2 children and 2 adults. And the 2 kids were some kind of bullies at my school, a girl and a boy. I'm just going to I'm not going to full name them, but Sam and Kirsty. Okay, if you know who you are, I don't like you.
Fuck you, Sam and Kirsty.
It's been 20 years. Fuck you. And 2 of my teachers, who I won't name because that's just mean. I'm sure they were just doing their jobs and they were probably having their own issues. But those kids can fuck off. Like, they have no excuse. They were in the same boat as me.
I feel like if you were like mean to anyone who played The Sims, even like the slightest, you were getting murdered on The Sims later that day.
Yeah. But I don't know how common it was because I used to go home from school after, like, if I'd had a bad day at school, I would open up that family of the 4 of them, kill them all, and then maybe do it again. But like, I wouldn't recreate The Sims. I would just not save it. So they were in those 4 Sims. We're in like a perpetual cycle of being murdered in horrible ways.
Oh my God.
Like literally I'd come home like, right, Sam and Kirsty, you fucking twats, I'm gonna fuck you up tonight. Just burn them, drown them.
Oh God, that's great. Yeah. I love that.
Other than that, during my 100 baby challenge, my sim, I was trying to get her to have the grilled cheese aspiration. And one of the ways to get that, you have to talk to the Grim Reaper about grilled cheese.
Yep.
So I thought the easiest way to talk to the Grim Reaper was to have someone die on my lot. So I got a guy in, had him impregnate my sim, and then made a little basement that I locked him in. And he just stayed there until he died. It was annoying though, because he just would not die. He would not starve. It was really annoying. I don't know. I was wondering whether or not every time I was coming back into the game that he was like, his needs were resetting or something. But I was like, you will not die. And I didn't want to use any cheats on my 100 baby challenge because, like, what is the point in doing a challenge that difficult if you're just going to cheat it? Like, I don't see the point. Like,
I will say starvation, when I've been doing Gauntlet, starvation is one of the longest deaths to get. I don't know why it takes
it's realistic, though.
So long.
It takes like 3 weeks in real life to die of starvation. If you have no water, you could die in a couple of days. But if you have no food, you can last for like 3 weeks.
I don't know. I feel like it should be a little quicker.
In The Sims.
Yeah. I mean, not in real life. I don't want people turning to survival cannibalism to get through their day or anything. But in The Sims, like, you know, make it a week. Yeah. It takes a long time.
This is why Gauntlet is so fascinating and why people want to watch it, by the way. Because all the people who are saying, I want to watch you stream it and stuff are missing a trick here. The beauty of it is that you are just showing us the interesting parts of what is a very boring activity.
It's so boring.
If you actually sit there and kill Sims, it's so mind-numbingly boring.
Yeah. Do you know, so the one death that I will not do again is from Eco Lifestyle. It's the flies in the garbage cans.
Oh, yeah.
In the dumpsters. Oh, my God. When I tell you that I don't always show this, but I have like 47 dumpsters just sitting around the lot gathering flies, and I will get flies on all of them and not get a death. And then I have to sit there and wait for all of them to get flies again. And then I just like rotate them out of the lot.
That's so annoying.
It took days, like not sim days, human days. It took human days last time that I did flies.
Okay, yeah, awful. Don't do that again.
It's not. I'm having PTSD flashbacks just thinking about it.
So lots, I think, is the answer for both of us.
A lot.
I try and be quite philosophical about it and just fucking kill anyone and not really give a shit when I'm actually playing. But if it's like a family that I like, I don't just kill them for fun and then like load it back up. No way. Like
that
they're my
would
babies.
Make you a sociopath. So
yeah. No, I don't do that.
No. All right. So Silly Simus has quite a few questions for us here.
Yeah, he does.
And shockingly enough, they're not all mean, so that's good.
Yeah, that's cute.
So his first question is, which Sims 4 pack would you give a refresh and why?
Immediate answer to that is Get to Work.
Yes.
Get to Work is hands down one of the best packs in the game.
You're not wrong.
I'm right. So my favourite ones, I think, are like Get to Work and Cottage Living for EPs. They're brilliant. Imagine if Get to Work came out when Cottage Living did. It would be incredible.
Yeah.
Let's... I did a little TikTok about this where I'm reviewing all the packs and like charting like out of 10 my score and stuff, which I still haven't finished. Basically everything I'm going to mention on here that is a TikTok project I've done, I have not finished it. So if you want to say like, Katie, do that one, we actually really want to see that one, then maybe I'll actually fucking finish one of them because I never do.
Maybe.
Anyway. Yeah, the Cass is dodge. Because not only is it kind of quite unfashionable by now, I guess, but that's not really the point. It's the fact that just the ability, like computers have come along a long way. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm going to pretend I know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. They're in more detail now than they were then.
Yes.
Some of the base game furniture and stuff really needs to get their meshes and the textures.
Oh yeah.
Fixed up a little bit.
The early hair for The Sims. Gosh. Oh my God.
Ooh, let's not talk about the get together hair.
Oh, I don't even want to discuss it. No, thank you.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, Get to Work.
Okay.
I want that to get a refresh. I think that there's so much. Maybe, oh my God, you could have a skill tree thing for the aliens.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Give Magnolia Promenade a couple more fucking lots.
Right. Maybe
why is it 4? What's the point?
I don't know. I don't understand that at all. Maybe they could actually fix the detective career also.
Yes. Oh my God, that is really sad.
Because I love that career.
I love it too, but it is broken. So if you haven't played the detective career, basically there's bits where you have to try and find the suspect and it tells you what they're wearing or something. Only this came before. I think the main problem is because it came before seasons, it doesn't know when they're wearing their cold weather and hot weather. I think that's the main issue.
Oh, maybe.
Because it fucks up with custom content, but I know you don't use custom content.
No, I don't. But it'll literally tell me they're wearing a green shirt and the person that did it is wearing a pink sweatshirt.
Yeah.
What?
And I think that is because it's thinking of its everyday wear outfit.
Maybe.
And it doesn't know that the game is automatically telling it to be in the winter weather because it's cold.
That does make sense. You're so smart.
Thank you. What about you? What would you refresh?
So, I totally agree with Get to Work. Get to Work definitely needs a refresh. But if we're going to put aside Get to Work, because you already said that, so that would be stupid to give the same answer, I would have to say Outdoor Retreat.
Oh, yeah.
I understand, because that was the first expansion pack that we got, right? Or was it a game pack? I don't remember. But it was the first one that we got, right?
It's a game pack. But I don't know what order they came out because I didn't start playing Sims 4 until 2019.
Yeah.
I'm
fairly sure it was the first one or one of the first ones that had come out. And you think of the worlds that you get to travel to as far as vacations are concerned. And if you take Outdoor Retreat and look at it against Jungle Adventures, wow, there is such an incredible difference between those two, because there are so many things to do in Jungle Adventures. Jungle Adventures is one of my favorites.
Right. I love Jungle Adventure. I need to play it again because when I was playing it before, I was playing it on my MacBook and you couldn't really see what was going on. You kind of need quite a good computer to play Jungle Adventure. I know that sounds mad, but like to see it, oh my God, Selvadorada is an amazingly beautiful world and you really need a like...
Perfect. I have no complaints about that pack at all. Like I cannot think of a single thing that I would fix about that pack.
Lovely.
But you could have done something similar. And I understand, like, it's a lot, Outdoor Retreat is a lot older, so I get it. But there could be so much more. Because the only really even remotely interesting thing to me about Outdoor Retreat is the secret area that has the hermit.
Oh, you know what they could really do into Outdoor Retreat if they were going to bloody fix that? Spawn more bugs.
Yes.
I've been doing that aspiration on my Super Sim, and oh my God, is it mind-numbingly dull.
Yeah.
Not as dull as a big disappointment for me. I know that everybody was hating on it when it came out, but I had actually reasonably high hopes for Journey to Batuu. Because I quite like Star Wars, okay? I thought it was going to be fun. I thought it was going to be like Jungle Adventure or Strangerville, where it was like a game within a game. That's cool. But they fucked up. I don't know what I still like the build, buy, and cast. I do a lot of fantasy things, so they're actually really useful. And the build buy is lush. There's so much crazy shit in that game, in that one. I really, really thought that the gameplay was going to be fun, and it's so boring and so irritating. Things just don't add up. It's like you have to do things in a really annoying way. Things don't work. Like when you're on Batuu, you can't use your magic powers. I was like, this is going to be awesome because I'm a spellcaster and I'm going to Batuu. And it was like, your magic doesn't work here for some reason because of Disney trademarks, presumably. I don't know. It's just so fucking annoying. So, I don't know if have you tried doing it?
So here's my thoughts on Journey to Batuu. First off, I played it for like an hour and I was like, no, not for me. Thank you. I do enjoy the build buy. I use a lot of it. There's some like really cute like pots and stuff and like vases that I use in like a lot of my things. But here's what I think should have been done with Journey to Batuu. It should have been a standalone Sims game. Like similar to Sims Medieval.
I agree.
And they could have had this whole crazy Star Wars, like they could have had all of these different worlds and all of these different things to do. And it could have just been, because that's really what it feels like, because it's not like your sim can go there and spend their simoleons. They have to use like the credits or whatever. It's like very standalone within the game. So I don't understand why it's not just a separate game.
Ugh, I don't know. Yeah, I completely agree with you. It would be because there's Lego Star Wars.
Yes. I have hundreds of them in my house because my husband does all the Lego Star Wars.
But there's Lego Star Wars games,
like actual Legos. Yes, there are.
Yeah.
Can we talk like for 2 seconds? The Lego games are really good.
I've never played one, but I have been recommended quite a few of them by now, and I feel like maybe I should.
Yep.
Okay, what are we on? 5.
Yes.
This is from Silly Sims again. Okay. Which kit would you delete from everyone's computer?
Every single Create a Sim kit. Goodbye. Be gone. I want nothing to do with any of them. No.
The Carnival pack, though.
All of them. I want them all gone.
I would be so upset with you if you took that away from me. I fucking love that pack. It's so weird.
It's not actually going to happen, so don't panic.
But I was really scared.
I know you were. I know.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna call Tony and tell him he needs to delete that from your computer. You can't have it anymore.
No,
maybe I'll get some hate for this. I don't hate the kits.
No,
I don't hate them. I don't love them, but I don't hate them. And I just feel like the cast kits have just been kind of meh at best.
I don't have most of them, I must admit. Some of them are like, I think I got Incheon Arrivals.
That one I like.
Oh,
we can keep that one.
That's the one that I'm like, I don't get it.
I use that one literally all the time. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is about those clothes, but they're very nice. And I like
Fashion Street because it gives me trousers like I wear in real life.
Fair.
But cast kits, whatever, do what you like with them. Build buy kits. I think all of them, pretty much, I like them. Bust the Dust.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that Bust the Dust is... Ugh.
I have specifically not bought it. Like, I have decided, it's not that I haven't got around to it yet. No, I do not want it in my game. And I know that because I'm doing the Super Sim, I am waiting as long as possible to put that in my game because I do not want to have to deal with it. Oh my God, hoovering?
I do have Bust the Dust because I have a problem. I have an addiction that I can't control.
Do you have all of the kits now then?
I have everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I have everything except that new sleepwear one because over my dead fucking body will I pay a subscription to get goddamn pajamas. It's not happening.
But it's also only for consoles with EA Play.
Yeah.
So you've got to play it. And presumably all of your packs are on PC. Like, I've got PS5 right here. And I'm going to be playing The Sims on it because I want to do some hilarious videos of me trying to build. Because honestly... This is what makes me laugh, is that everybody's like, oh, this hate on the console players and stuff. I have no hate. I have nothing but complete and utter awe of people who can play The Sims 4 on a fucking console.
Yeah.
You're
so much better than us, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, like people who build. Not only have you not got build mods, which I rely on very heavily, but also, like... I know some people who build amazing things and they're like, oh yeah, I don't like using the cheats because then I won't get the achievements on the PlayStation screen. And I was like, holy shit, you play without move objects and you build on... no, I know that not every console player would be doing that, but no, I have nothing but absolute respect for how you can do that because I know... couldn't do that. Then again, I guess agree. if you're more of a console player, you're more adept to using controllers, which I'm a bit of a twat on controllers.
I have absolutely like no fine motor skills with controllers, so it's just not for me. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to practice. I'm trying to get better at that sort of shit.
Yeah, no, I'm not very good at it. But I do have Bust the Dust, and I turn off the whole dust system every time I use it.
Okay.
But I will say when I do play with it and I play with it on, the only thing that I enjoy about it is the little dust bunnies.
They are adorable.
They're very cute. And sometimes they bring you things and stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Are they still doing that bug where they give you unbelievably like OP stuff? Like they'll bring you a Salvadorad and golden mask.
Yeah.
That's worth like 50,000 simoleons and you just found it on your sofa somehow.
Yeah, you're like, wow, thanks, Dust Bunny. I totally forgot that I put that there.
Oh, yeah. Somebody must have dropped that. I won't return it to them or anything.
I knew I misplaced my golden frog.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Funny story about the golden frog. Obviously, frog, brand, pre-frog, yeah.
Yes.
I had this build that I'd made. It was like a kind of froggy-themed build, and it was cute. And I wanted it to be my house in Super Sim, but my Sim couldn't afford it. So I was going through that house deleting anything that I thought was worth a lot of money, just so I could get basically the shell of it. And it just, the price would not go down so that she could afford it, like right at the beginning of the game. And I was like, why? This is so annoying. And then I realised that I put one of those golden frogs on top of the mailbox.
No.
And I was like, for fuck's sake, the whole time. It's just been that there's been like this 20 grand item sat on top of the mailbox for no reason, just because I thought it was cute.
Oh, well.
What's next?
What's next? All right, so Simon has another question for us because he asks most of these questions, thank God. Which Sims content creator do you watch and which do you not like at all?
Naming people that we hate is probably
that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no. That's a bit mean. Talking about who I like, I'm not really streaming on Twitch at all at the moment, but I have been quite into the Twitch community. So there's a lot of people that are like people you might not have heard of that I love that I watch, like Sim Michelle. She's a good friend of mine. I love her streams. I mean, lots of people like that, which I could just kind of blather on for ages. James Turner was the reason why I started doing this. He was the first person I kind of found. Mm-hmm. Dr. Gluon, I think I discovered through him because they're like best friends.
Yep, that makes sense.
And then, yeah, more recently, like Call Me Kevin, who is not really a Sims creator, but his Sims content is legendary.
Yeah, he does. I feel like he counts.
He counts. And Grace still plays.
Yes.
Like, you wouldn't call him a simmer.
Grace Still Plays hasn't played The Sims in like 2.5 years.
I haven't watched him in like 2.5 years, but at one point I was obsessed.
Yeah, he's great.
I've been on a huge Call Me Kevin binge recently, and I've caught up with like nearly all of his videos.
Call Me Kevin is like what I watch when I'm creating content. Like if I'm doing like a build or something, I'm watching Call Me Kevin.
We love you, Kevin.
Yeah.
If you ever hear this,
Kevin, please love us back.
Please do. We want to be your friend. So yeah, what about you? Who do you watch?
So I will agree that I also started because I watched James Turner. I really enjoyed his tutorials back in the day. I mean, I'll be honest in that I don't watch a ton of like specifically Sims content right now because I also make Sims content. So my worst fear is that like I watch all of these other Sims content videos and then a couple weeks later, I'm like, oh my God, I have a really great idea. And it turns out that my idea was just something that I watched somebody do recently.
That makes perfect sense.
So I tend to not consume a lot of Sims content.
Also, how much Sims can you have in your life? Like, you're playing The Sims, you're recording The Sims, you're editing The Sims, you're watching The Sims.
Yeah, it's a bit much. So I definitely started off with watching James Turner. I was really into, and I will say that I am still really into, I love Plumbella. I think she's great.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry I forgot you.
I know, terrible. How awful are we? English Simmer, I really love her. So that's if we're talking about, you know, kind of the people that everybody really knows. Since I kind of moved over to TikTok, because I don't create nearly as much YouTube content as I used to. I think we're all very aware of that.
Me too.
We kind of have like our own little, and you're part of this, we have our own little like Sims Talk community. So I watch all of my friends in the Sims Talk community. I would name hilarious. All of them, but it's going to take forever to name all of them. I love Nard Villain. Oh my God, he's so fun.
He's so funny. If you're on TikTok doing Sims, but there are so many others.
So many.
Who do we not like?
I was going to say, so as far as the second half of this question, I'm not going to sit here and say names of people that I don't like or anything like that. But I will say that there is a big issue on Sims TikTok of people not even copying concepts that other people, because, I don't hold the copyright over doing a murder gauntlet. It's not a thing. Like, there's been so many people who have done some variation of a murder gauntlet. I'm talking people who will literally take the content that you have filmed and put it on their channel. Or they will
translate it word for word in a different language.
So I record, if you have not seen my TikTok, I do these Sims 911 videos where I am basically pretending to be a 911 dispatcher, and the Sims are the ones that are calling me. And they're calling me about just absurd things like somebody kicked over my trash barrel, somebody put a fence around my pool, just normal Sim stuff. And I genuinely, I was sent this by somebody else, that somebody had taken one of my videos and word for word recreated the video just in another language. They did not tag me. They did not ask, because I will genuinely say, if this person had like reached out to me and was like, hey, I speak this language and, I don't have any viewers that speak English. I think that your concept is really funny. Would you mind if I recreated it in my language with credit? I probably would have said yes.
Or even just like a fan thing. Like, I love hiphiprenee so much, I want to recreate one of her videos.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that at all. It was just pure theft.
It was pure theft. And then I commented on the video and I was like, hey, this is like kind of not cool. I tried messaging them. I commented on the video. A couple other people commented. They have never responded, and they still have not taken that video down. That video is still up. This is not the first and only time this has happened. And it's not just people translating it into other languages. There are so many people on Sims TikTok that just straight up steal content. And like, that is their entire thing. And they have, some of these people have more followers than I do from stolen content.
I don't think anyone's stolen mine, which kind of makes me sad.
I know,
like,
right?
I have never once had... I'm not that small on TikTok. I'm like nearly at 50K.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. But no one has, to my knowledge, maybe they have. I've never been told... Oh, the really funny thing was, though, you know how, like, people had, like, tagged you in that video and been like, Renee, someone's stealing your content, and that kind of happens. Somebody did that to me, for a creator who definitely was not stealing from me, and it was so funny. It's Dr. Gluon.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
He did a video about, like, making a giant kitchen or something in The Sims, which is totally what he's always done. And he is a huge creator. Like, if you just know us from TikTok, then maybe you don't know who Dr. Gluon is, but, like, he's really, really big. Like, compared to me, I'm absolutely nobody. And then people were like, P-Frog, this guy who's just suddenly turned up on TikTok is totally stealing your idea. And then he messaged me, was like, I didn't. I hope you know I didn't steal it. And I was like, oh my God, no. Yeah, no, of course you didn't.
I remember this exact video. I know exactly what you're talking about because I also remember seeing people in the comments, because it was going both ways in the comments, was that people were commenting and saying that he was stealing from you. And then people were responding to those people and saying, no, peafrogsims is stealing from Dr. Gluon. And like no one could agree who was stealing from who in the comments. And I thought it was the funniest thing.
We have very similar sense of humor, and we like making weird, giant, stupid builds. Yes. And that's just what we're like.
Yeah. I think there's a huge difference between doing something similar to another simmer, because people compare me to Call Me Kevin to Gray Still Plays all the time because I am chaotic. Yeah. So when you think of chaotic simmers, you think of people like Call Me Kevin, you think of Gray Still Plays. And I totally get that. And I don't mind being compared to them because, like, what an honor, honestly. Yeah. They're amazing. And I would love to be like even an iota as funny as them. But there is a big difference between using a similar concept and, you know, maybe you didn't even see the other person, because the Sims community is also so huge. There is...
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, really no original ideas in the Sims community at this point. Like, everything's been done to some degree. But at the same time, you cannot copy exactly how somebody is doing something. You cannot word for word take their content. And you absolutely cannot take the content that they themselves have filmed and put together on their own and then try and pass it off as your own content. That's gross, in my opinion.
Make a very similar video that's a tutorial to somebody else and take the title word for word.
Yes.
Yeah, and upload that with the tips from the original video and just talk to the camera without actually filming any footage from the game that you're talking about.
Yeah, I totally remember that too.
Oh, I'm just speaking completely hypothetically. This isn't a real thing. This isn't a real thing that happened, and I've been seething with rage about ever since.
Yeah, I know.
You can't find that anymore, by the way, because the person who did that realized that I knew, and they changed the title of the video.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be weird about this. Like, it was very, very specific. And it was clearly like, I don't need to go into it.
I know.
It was so blatant.
So
and it was...
my rule of thumb when you're watching, and I feel like I've wanted to say this before, but I don't think that I ever have, is when you're watching Sims content creators, if you notice that Sims content creator doesn't interact with any other Simmers at all, there's a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like, there is a reason why people in the Sims community will not interact with that person, because the Sims community, I feel, is very intertwined. Yeah. And if you create Sims content at all, you have other Sims content creator friends.
Absolutely.
And you comment on each other's videos. Maybe you collaborate. Maybe you, even if it's just on Twitter and you're like following each other, you have this kind of group of Sims friends to some degree. And I have noticed that the people who do kind of grow their base on copying other people's content don't have that. They don't have other Sims content creators that they are talking to or friends with or even mutuals with. That's my thoughts on that. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
What's next? 7. This is me, odd numbers. I'm an odd number. What's an overrated, overdone trend in the Sims community?
Oh, I have been so rip and rare and ready to go for this question.
Go on.
If I see one more fucking dollhouse build, I swear to God, I am going to gouge out my own eyeballs and eat them.
I love them. They're really cute.
Don't know what it is about the dollhouse trend that was going around, because now, like, it's still happening and people are like sharing their builds in this dollhouse kind of situation where there's like 2 walls missing, which I think is a really cute way of showing off your build. I think that's super adorable. But
kind of the isometric like cube thing when they have like, that's really cute.
And if you want to show your build off that way, absolutely go for it. I have totally done that. But I don't know why it was a trend and why it was called the dollhouse trend, because you weren't building a fucking dollhouse. You were building a room that didn't have 2 of their walls. I don't know what it is.
I never thought about that, but that is really annoying because it's just not what that is.
Exactly. Because I've seen so many people build like actual genuine, like the Barbie dream house and things like that. So you have like the whole front of the build was done, but the back of the build was open and like each of the rooms are just kind of stacked on top of each other. That's super cute. That's a fucking dollhouse. Yeah. You know, it's not a dollhouse, a floor and 2 walls. It's not. It's not, and I hate it.
I guess it depends how shit your childhood was. Didn't get the third wall.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Two more to afford the third wall. But yeah, no, I don't like that one. And I'm so glad that it's done.
Okay, so one thing it's not just a Sims thing, I guess in the art community as well, but the mashups, the unnecessary mashups. I know that I'm doing it, so I am to blame, but I kind of take the piss out of it while also doing it. So I think it came from the whole berry Sims thing. A strawberry Sim, so everything's red.
Yes. Okay. Got it. Gotcha.
Harry Potter characters in The Sims. Mm-hmm. Or, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like the really, like the examples that everybody does. When I'm talking about
Valley.
Cass,
everyone does Stardew Valley.
Everybody does Stardew Valley.
Everybody does Stardew Valley.
I've
done Stardew Valley.
Which is very weird. To do Animal Crossing in The Sims. Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I know that I do this, but this is why I came up with the cheese Sims concept, because I was taking the piss out of it while also doing it. So I am part of the problem. But there's just, it's like when people are like, I'm going to draw every Harry Potter character like a My Little Pony. I fucking, and they always used to be in these listicles on blogs. Yes. Like 10 years ago. Yes. I don't know if it's just like just an old thing that just really winds me up still. I hated that. And so anytime it's like here's all of the different flavors of Coke as Sims, I just want to rip my eyeballs out.
Yeah.
Which is why we were doing, we did cheese Sims. Well, I did cheese Sims, and then you were trying to do meat Sims.
I did some meat Sims, yeah. Yep,
Which will go in the fridge house eventually. Oh, God.
Someday. Yeah, I'm not really good at, like, finishing things.
You are, though. You've got 9 seasons of Murder Gauntlet. How many series have I finished? None.
I mean, I have 9 seasons of Murder Gauntlet, but do you know how many series I've started and then just, like, completely forgot about?
Has anybody ever asked you where they went?
Yes. Oh. And I ignore those comments. I pretend I don't see them.
I apologize and feel terrible about myself. Like, did we ever finish this? And I'm like, no, it's just sat there on my computer doing nothing.
I was looking through my save files the other day, and I found my TikTok legacy sim. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot I even had a TikTok legacy sim. I think I did like 4 episodes, and I was like, fuck it, I don't want to do it anymore.
Also, I must admit, there is a thing on TikTok where people will be really, really into the beginning of a series. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've noticed this on TikTok, but I've done things where I've done 3 episodes, say. The first episode will get like 50,000 views in a matter of days. The next one will get 100,000 views. And then the next one will get like a couple of thousand.
Yeah.
People
it happens all the time. Absolutely.
And people are like, so I'm on part 56 of my fairy tale Too Many Toddlers. And obviously they are not getting the same amount of views as they were at number 1.
No.
But people want to see the end.
Of course.
So I'm like, but there's quite a few things where I've made 3 parts maybe. And I'm sorry to say the first couple of episodes got really, really good views. And it did give me a push to keep going. But then nobody asked for part 4. Or only 1 or 2 people did, and it only got a few thousand views. And so there's just no, aside from being a nice person, there's really no impetus for me to do that, especially if it's not an idea that I am really into actually want to play.
Yes.
Or was hard to do.
That is the only reason why I have continued with Murder Gauntlet, because Murder Gauntlet, generally during a season, they'll all kind of get around the same views within a season. From season to season, it might go down. Like season 1 did incredibly well, and then season 2 didn't do quite as good, and then season 3 did pretty good, and some of them are better than others. I keep that one going, and then I also keep roasting your builds going, because that one always just kind of does really well. And that's super fun and super easy to film, so it's really nice to just kind of have that that's like my backup content almost.
I have been trying to think of an equivalent of that for me that engages, because it's just, I mean, if you're not a content creator and you're listening to this, you might not be thinking about it in the same ways that we are, but like, it's genius. because there's so much interaction on those posts, which gets the views up, which gets more people to see it, which gets more interaction, and it's like a snowball. And that is what you want when you want to like grow your following and continue to like have more people see your content, and actually have TikTok show your content to people as well, because sometimes it's like, even if you're following someone, if that video isn't doing very well, it won't bother showing it to everybody who follows you. So, which is the same with all platforms, but TikTok is pretty bad for that.
Yeah, TikTok is just the Wild West of content creation as far as I'm concerned.
Is. And so many things that people are like, oh, I've cracked this. I've cracked this thing about it.
No, you haven't.
2 weeks later, they'll have changed it anyway, even if you have.
Of course.
So, no idea. It's just all random. And I think that's why the more chaotic content creators tend to do quite well. Because we're all just like throwing shit at the fan and seeing what happens. I say we like I'm doing really well. I'm not doing badly.
So this is our final question from Silly Simus, so we can finally stop talking about him. For anyone who's unaware, Silly Simus and I are the best frenemies you will ever meet in your life. But anyway, what is the most annoying thing / best thing about making content about this game?
Okay, so obvious point from me is that The Sims 4 is not the most reliable fucking game on earth.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of the time it doesn't bloody work. I have had a few projects in the past where I've been in the middle of doing something and then the specific thing that is related to that project doesn't work.
Ugh, that's the worst.
Doing the 100 baby challenge and you couldn't age people up for a while. You had to cheat every single one.
Yeah.
Like the birthday cakes just didn't work. That is fucking annoying. Live mode glitches, I can kind of accept because you can cheat them.
Yes.
But when it's build mode glitches, I lose my fucking shit.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build something and it just does not work, and there's no way to get around that. If there's like, oh, it's not ticking off that part of the aspiration. Oh, well, I can just cheat it where I can say that they've reached, there's so many cheats where you can just be like, okay, I'm just going to find that. And you don't have to use any mods for that or anything. You can get around that. But yeah, when it's build mode, what the fuck am I supposed to do there?
Yeah.
And the other annoying thing, it's quite easy to get burned out.
Yes.
With The Sims, because there are so many things you can do with it. So there's kind of no reason to ever stop. And this is, I think, why I've had such a big break. Say you're playing, Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I have my one character and my one island. Unless I bought multiple Switches, that's all I can do. I can kind of only do the things that Animal Crossing is designed for. But The Sims, I can do fucking anything.
Oh, yeah.
And so if I'm bored with my Super Sim, I can go build a fairy castle. And there are so many gameplay challenges. There are so many things in the game and outside of the game. There's now the scenarios.
Yes.
Like, there's so much. And it means you can just basically, like, I can spend a day making content about The Sims and then watch Renee's TikTok of Murder Gauntlet. And it will be completely different to what I've done. But it'll all be The Sims. And then you just, it's just too much.
I think that's why there are so many people who are solely Sims content creators.
Yeah.
Because you can really just do so many things within The Sims. That's
why it's such a good game. That's why everybody likes it, I think. But it does cause issues sometimes.
Yeah. It's hard to narrow down what to do for content sometimes.
Yeah.
I do think that the most annoying thing about making content is having to narrow down kind of what you're going to do. Because there are so many ideas out there and there are so many things that maybe you've tried and didn't work in the past, but maybe it'll work now. Or maybe you recorded something and you were going to put it out tomorrow and then you were scrolling through something and you saw that somebody literally did the exact same thing today. There's just so many people and so many things to do. And it's really hard to just kind of narrow it down and not want to do everything because I have a really hard time focusing. So I want to do a million things at once and then I end up getting burnt out because I'm trying to do too many things. Yeah. The best thing, I think it's all the people, honestly.
I do too.
I love the Sims community. I love the Sims content creation community. I have met so many just incredible people doing this that I have been able to collaborate with and meet and I talk to every day. I think that this community is really, really great. And if you put the effort into meeting the people that are in this community, you're going to enjoy it.
I think that's a really lovely, lovely point. That's
right?
Really nice. No,
I can be nice
funny.
sometimes.
I know. That's why I like you sometimes. No, it's really funny to me because people talk about how toxic the Sims community is, especially on Twitter and stuff.
It's not.
And I think that people need to look at some other game communities.
Yeah.
Because the Sims is so tame.
Yes. Yes.
Like, it really is. I'm not going to say it's better than a lot of other ones. It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Most gaming fandoms are, kind of toxic in a lot of ways. But yeah, I think there's something weird about The Sims being not a multiplayer game. You have to collaborate in a different way, which is why I thought The Sims Sparked was weird, because it was... Usually the way that you do Sims challenges and things, it's people individually creating and then sharing that with each other.
Yes.
Whereas The Sims Sparked was people collaborating together on a thing and then competing with that with other people, which is just both opposites.
Yeah.
And that was weird to me. But you can have 100 people who all make content about The Sims and it will all be completely different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, we've got a fair few similarities, but our content is just not the same.
No.
For the most part.
We have a similar vibe, but it's still very, very different.
I can't really narrow down, like, what I am. Like, I don't know. What am I known for? Like, me as a TikToker. If you're just thinking about my TikTok.
I feel like you do also fit under that, like the chaotic kind of vibes. But
I feel that.
Again, it's a different kind of way, because it's not
a different chaos.
It's not like you're me, where you're sitting there and you're killing all these Sims. You're doing, like, more family-friendly chaos. You're doing more gameplay chaos. You're, like, telling a story with your content a lot of the time.
I do fairy tale characters and cheese Sims and fridge houses and fucking stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting, though, because, like, a lot of your YouTube content is quite serious.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like my YouTube and my TikTok are like two separate people.
But the trouble that I was having is I was trying to be a TikToker on YouTube before TikTok existed.
Yeah.
Basically. Like, I've kind of always had the same kind of mindset of doing just kind of random bullshit.
Yes.
Which doesn't really go down well on YouTube. It's not really the platform for it. And then when TikTok arrived, and I was like, oh, damn. This is the place where I can be. Although I tried to do it in the way, oh my God, you guys, Renee is the reason why I have a TikTok and that I'm even remotely known on it. Because I kept trying to do things in the way I was doing them before, like really curated.
No.
And then when you were just like, just fucking film the screen with your phone. And I was like, that's so weird though. But that's what worked.
Yeah.
So anybody out there who wants to be a TikTok content creator, like for gaming,
it's just pure chaos. Just fucking do whatever you want. Just throw it out there.
What's next?
That's your question.
9? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your... here we go. Question from Starshers. What are your 3 traits?
Ooh.
If you were a sim.
All right. I feel like this is going to make me sound like an asshole.
Don't worry, mine will too.
I'm going to say it anyway. My first one, I have to go with self-absorbed. And I feel like if you make any sort of content, you're lying to yourself if you're not a little bit self-absorbed.
You have to be a certain amount of narcissistic.
Why would I think that it's okay to film myself and then put it on the internet for other people to watch and be like, oh my God, I'm hilarious. Like, I know I'm fucking funny. Okay? I know I am. You don't have to tell me. I'm very aware.
I won't tell you.
I mean, tell me anyway, because I really enjoy the validation. But
me too.
But yeah, self-absorbed for sure.
Okay, that's very that doesn't make you sound like an asshole. That actually makes you sound really humble.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm like the most humble. So
more humble than anyone else ever.
Yes. Yes, the most humble ever. So definitely self-absorbed. You say what yours are, because I'm like, I totally know that self-absorbed is that's the one, but I don't know. The other ones are tough.
So yeah, no, mine really will make me sound like an asshole. Because clumsy is the first one. I'm dyspraxic. I'm falling over all the time. That's just a given for me. If I'm seeing my sim walking around, she's got to be falling over. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. Secondly, creative, which I think people would agree with.
Yeah.
And thirdly, genius. And I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not even apologizing for that.
Wow.
I give myself genius.
Wow.
See, that makes me sound like an asshole. You saying, oh, I'm really self-absorbed. That's like really kind of self-deprecating and ironically not a very self-absorbed thing to say. Why is it really self-absorbed?
All right.
I think I'm smart. I'm
picking up what you're putting down.
Good.
I'm getting it. So we're very aware of self-absorbed already.
I think we are.
I would have to go with erratic.
Okay.
But I think it's just because it's the only one that I can think of where a sim is just kind of like all over the place all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That trait is bizarre and fun.
It's a weird one, but I feel like that one makes the most sense because I am just very like I bounce from one thing to the next and I'm just like constantly like my brain is constantly going.
Yeah, so I mean that would suit me as well as if I wanted to be reasonable and take off genius, I would probably give myself erratic because I do talk to myself a lot.
Yeah, I feel like erratic makes a lot of sense. And then, I don't know, I feel like maybe ambitious to a degree.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think it really, like, I wouldn't say that I'm ambitious in every single aspect of my life by any means at all. But like when I get an idea and I really enjoy it, or I'm doing something that I really enjoy, I am very ambitious with like that one thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I can see that. I think I'm quite similar. When I'm working towards doing like TikToks and stuff and I'm like, right, this video is going to do really, really well. And when it doesn't, I'm really annoyed. And I'm like, no, I've got to get better next time. And I'm not just bitterly going, oh, damn, it's just everybody else's fault, not mine. No, I'm like, no, I need to refine this. I need to get it down. I want to be the best. But also, I just kind of stopped making TikToks like a while ago because I was really busy and just kind of left my account just chugging along.
Yeah.
48,000, just like boop, boop, boop. And also just kind of didn't care. So I'm very on or off with my ambition.
Yes. Yeah. It really depends. It depends on my mood at the time.
Yeah, because sometimes I really don't give a fuck. I'm just like, I'm not about that grind.
No.
That's not for me.
Next one, we have another one from Star. Ooh. And this is a fun one. What sim would you kiss, marry, kill, and you can only choose one for each?
This is hard.
Is it?
First is Don Lothario.
Okay.
And I will take no questions.
Nope. I don't have to ask any questions. I totally get it.
Marry? Mm-hmm. What's his surname? Thomas. No, his surname's Thomas. The guy from Cottage Living.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what his first name is, but I know who you're talking about.
He's cute.
Yeah, he is cute.
He's very cute. I think that he'd be a good husband. Mm-hmm. Like, Don Lothario is the obvious choice, but I'm not going to marry Don.
No, that would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, he would not be into that at all. He'd be very upset. And I want to kill Knox Greenberg.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right,
fucking
fair.
hate him.
All right. Do you want to elaborate on that at all, or you just don't like him?
Oh, he's just such a little prick. I just like that whole pack is about being. He's from Eco Lifestyle, if you don't know, and it's all about being eco-friendly and that. And there's so many lovely people in that pack who like come around and they're like, "Hey, do you need some help with recycling or something?" And it's like a lovely community feel. But he's just such a dick about it. He's just like, Are you not eating things out of bins? Well, in that case, you're a terrible person.
Oh,
and I'm just
God.
like, fuck off, you little shit.
All right.
Don't like
I see
him.
Where you're going.
Yeah, I just think he's really smug. And I think that if I knew him in real life, I would not be able to stomach him because I'm like, I do my best, okay? But don't give me a hard time.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's how I feel about Knox Greenberg.
All right.
Why can I not remember the stupid guy's name I'm trying to remember? Anyway, I'm going to marry him, but I don't know his name.
That's fine. Who really needs... You'll figure it out. I'm sure you'll know before the wedding. It'll be fine.
I have actually. One of my Sims has married him. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
I'm going to kiss Lou Howell, and I'm going to do a whole hell of a lot more than kiss him.
100%.
I am going to marry Nancy Landgrab. Stick with me for a second.
No, I get it.
She has a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Okay. She has like a lot of it. I want that 401k plan.
Yeah.
So I'm going to marry Nancy, and I'm killing Eliza Pancakes, because if there is a sim in the game who would be in a multi-level marketing scheme, it would 100% be Eliza.
Oh
like
my
Eliza
God,
sells
so
unique.
Right.
For sure.
And she's constantly posting about it online.
Yeah.
And she's constantly saying how well her business is doing, but the whole point is that she's getting other people to work below her, not actually selling the stuff. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. She calls everyone a boss babe, and she uses like 50,000 emojis. No. Get the fuck out of here, Eliza. No.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Bob deserves better.
I don't know. I do question how good a partner Bob is really for Eliza. Like, I feel like maybe they're as bad as each other.
Probably, but I feel like if I had to
mad.
pick one of them, if I had to pick one, Bob would be the one I would pick.
Oh, yeah. I think that's fair. But just the way he's always looking like, ugh. Like, is it because she's such a nightmare, or is he a passive-aggressive dickhead?
I think it's a little of both.
That's what I think. I think that people are giving Eliza too hard a time, but I think that the MLM thing,
spot on, right?
What would be your dream collab?
Ooh.
Ideas or collaborators? And this is from Ice Stella.
Okay. If I could pick anyone to collab with, it would, and I know that he hasn't made Sims content in years, but it would be Gray Still Plays.
And I would love to see that.
I feel like it would just be so chaotic and
it would be so good.
All over the place.
I actually came up with a cool idea for you for Murder Gauntlet.
Oh?
And I was like, what if you did a season where you used Sims that were famous from other people's content?
That's pretty clever.
Like Jim Pickens and Florida Man.
Yes. Yes. Oh. This is a fun idea. This could be a fun idea. This could be interesting.
I know. Maybe I shouldn't have said it on the podcast.
I know. Oh, well.
But
that's
like,
fine.
If anybody else does that out there, there's recorded evidence that I said it first and I said it to Renee.
Yes, you did.
So.
But speaking of this question, I do have a story. And this is from my early YouTube days.
Is this pre the restarting the channel because you lost it?
I don't remember. Possibly.
That's a story for another day if people don't know that.
Yeah, that's a whole other situation. But it could have been after. I don't remember. Either way, I had just hit 1,000 followers on YouTube.
Woo. Well
and I was like so impressed with myself and so excited. And I was really, I'm not going to name the name of this person because that would be awful.
Can we give them a fake name for funny purposes?
Yeah, it's Susie. So I was really into watching this Sims creator, Susie. And Susie did not have, I would say, didn't have too many more followers than me. They had like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 followers. I had 1,000. I don't really consider follower count when I'm doing collabs.
I'm glad you don't.
No, I definitely don't. I think it's more about people that I would work well with, or people who I think are talented, or, you know, what have you. So I was finally at the point where I was like, you know what? I have never really interacted with her before, but I'm going to reach out to her and tell her that, you know, I love your content. I would really like to work with you in the future if you want to do some sort of a collaboration, like a build collab, because she was a builder. So I reached out. I shoot my shot. And I sent this really nice message, and I was like, you know, it would be super awesome if we could do this. If it's not something that you're interested in or anything like that, that's totally fine. I won't be offended. And people always say that the worst thing that could happen is a person says no. And that's a lie. That's simply not true. This person messaged me back and said, no, I won't be collaborating with you. You don't have nearly as many followers as I do. So maybe you should talk to me when you have more followers and I'll consider collaborating with you. But I don't think that's going to ever happen. And the way, I swear to God, and the way that my eyeballs fucking fell out of my head when I got that message back. And this is the only time that I have genuinely ever been really upset with my content and with myself and with the Sims community. Like, that crushed me. 100%. It crushed me to the point where I almost stopped making content.
No.
Because it was just it was so cruel the way that she said it. But
is she somebody I know, by the way?
Possibly.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say who it is. I don't believe that they've made content in a little bit of time.
Okay.
But I will say, probably about a year after that, I had surpassed their follower count, and I am now over double their follower count on YouTube, which is not even my main platform anymore. I don't even want to talk about what I have on TikTok. And the day that I surpassed Susie's follower count was like the greatest vindication I could have ever had in my life. But like, that was just the cruelest thing that I could, because you could have just said no.
Or ignored it.
Or ignored it. Or ignored it, or been like, oh no, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I can't. Like, there are a million different ways that you could have said this, aside from you don't have as many followers as me, and I won't work with you until you have as many followers as me. And I don't think that's going to happen for you. Like, she straight up was telling me that there's no way that I would ever get to 4,000 followers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Susie.
So that was, at that point, my dream collab.
Who would be my dream collab? I haven't actually answered. I feel like this is obvious because we talked about it earlier. And it's Call Me Kevin.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that.
I
feel like if we did a 4-person collab.
Song. Me and Kevin could sing a little song.
Yeah. And me and Gray
would be amazing.
could kill you guys.
Yeah. Gray still plays Call Me Kevin.
Yeah.
If you hear this, I'm probably going to put this clip on TikTok and then tag you.
We'll tag him in everything, you know.
Kevin,
Gray, are you there?
Oh.
It wouldn't even need to be The Sims. Like, can we play Project Zomboid together?
Oh my God. Has Gray still played ever?
He has to have. If he hasn't, I'll be disappointed in him.
He needs to. Such a good game.
Yeah, it really is. 10 out of 10. All right. We have one question left.
We have 2 questions left.
We have 2? Oh, we do have 2. I forgot there was a second one in Discord. That's right. All right. So I'm going to ask this one, and then you can ask the next one. This one's really for you. It's from Sims Donut. Why do you refuse to let Don die and enjoy the eternal rest he so rightfully deserves?
Okay, so this needs a small amount of context. In my Super Sim, which I was originally doing on Twitch, I was actually putting it on YouTube as well. So there's like 30 episodes of like 30-minute episodes.
That's a lot. Wow.
I know. I save all my VODs from Twitch, by the way. So anytime I've live streamed it, I have the footage. I could, in fact, make a video of it. And maybe if I'm rich one day, I will just pay somebody to edit all of those videos just because it would be nice to have and people will be able to watch them. I could upload the VODs, but I don't like it. I like to edit. Anyway, in that, my Super Sim is my Sim self. Mm-hmm. And she is best friends with Don Lothario. I was constantly giving myself the potion of youth to keep myself going and being alive as the Super Sim, because you can't cheat it, but you can drink Potion of Youth. Yeah. And Don died. I was not aging. No. I was still a young adult. And he was gradually getting older and older. His family tree, by the way, because I have MC Command Center, which does a lot of story progression in the background.
Yes.
He has got so many children. It's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Not shocking.
And so I decided one day that I wanted him to never die and become a zombie, which you can't really do in The Sims 4. So I've made him a spellcaster, and I've cheated it so that he's got, he can't die through MC Command Center. Mm-hmm. And I put him through cast to make him look like a zombie. And so we have Zombie Don. He's on the gallery, if you would like him. Nice. He is a spellcaster, so you need Roman magic.
I do want him.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
But he will die because he is an elder, unless you put a cheat on to say he's not allowed to die. But it was a whole thing as part of my Super Sim where we had to go around and try and find his tombstone so that we could we could resurrect him, because it wasn't done with cheats.
Oh, no.
We ended up having to cheat something to try and find his tombstone because it just really didn't exist. The game did not generate a tombstone for him, and I needed one to exist to be able to bring him back to life. God. So we ended up having to do that. But no, it was quite. It took a couple of weeks of streams to find Don and then resurrect him as a ghost, and then we turned him into a zombie because it seemed weird that he didn't look like an undead person.
Yeah. I'm sure he's very happy to stick around and be friends with your Sim.
Yeah, because Zombie Don is bae.
Yeah.
We love Zombie Dawn. That was such a long story. So unnecessary. Oh
I don't have an answer for that question because I don't think that I've
ever kept on alive for hundreds of years.
Not that I can think of.
Oh, 13th question. Unlucky or lucky.
I go with lucky.
Odafi. Hey. Dream pack from EP to kit. Choice is yours.
Okay.
This is the last question.
I have talked about this many, many times. Every time this question comes up, I have the exact same answer, and I'm not going to change it now. I want a retirement pack. Yeah. I want nursing homes. I want retirement homes. I want community centers that have bingo. I want little walkers for my old people. I want little canes.
Is any of that coming in the next pack?
I want them to be like hunched over, even more so than the elders are now. I just want something that focuses entirely on elders because I think it is the most ignored life stage.
They have been done dirty in this game. They do not. They're just basically old adults.
Yes, exactly.
And that's just, you know.
Yeah.
Like when you think about life, like if you, I mean, people used to retire when they were like 50, which seems batshit to me now. I'm going to be like 80 by the time I bloody retire.
Yeah.
But, or not at all. But like my granddad retired when he was like 50, right? Mm-hmm. And then he lived until he was 80 something.
Yeah.
So that's 30 years of his life was spent retired. And he did all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like he like traveled the world with my nan, and he built a swimming pool in the back garden. And he used to like drive motorbikes around and stuff. Like it was like he did all sorts of shit, much more interesting stuff when he was retired. And that's kind of like the point. You do the work to save up so that you can retire.
Yes.
The world has gone to shit now, but let's not bother with that. So yeah, I agree. There should be more.
Yeah,
there should be more there.
I don't understand why that hasn't been a thing. Like we're getting infants. There's tons of stuff to do for toddlers. Toddlers have dedicated packs at this point.
And they only last for like 2 or 3 days on normal lifespan. And they're gone.
There's a ton of stuff for your kid sims to do. There's, especially now with like university and high school years, there's a ton of stuff for your teenagers to do. And then obviously everything can be done by the young adults and the adults. And then you turn into an elder and you're like, oh, guess I'm just waiting to die.
I know. And it does... It's really funny who you ask as well. Okay, what age do you think all of the different life stages are?
Oh, God. Okay.
Because this game is funny. Because you ask somebody who is a teenager, and they will say that adult starts at like 20.
Oh, my God. No. I would say infants go until like 2.
Okay, yeah.
And then toddlers, I would say, and I understand it says toddler, but I'd say like 3 to 6 years old would be the toddlers. Okay. Because then at 6, at least in the US, that's kind of when you start like kindergarten.
We start at like 4. That's when we start school.
Yeah, I mean, you do. There's like daycare, like preschool beforehand, but that would be a toddler thing.
We start proper school at 4 years old.
No, we don't go to proper school at 4 years old. That's probably why we're so dumb. But anyway, I would say...
This is why I'm a genius.
Yeah, child sims is probably from like 7 to 12, which is an issue because I feel like that's a really big age gap. Now, I work with children.
We need preteens.
There is a humongous difference between a 7-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
But I would never call a 12-year-old a teenager. You know what I mean? We need a preteen life stage. That's a whole other situation.
Like 10 to 12-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even like 9 to 12. You know?
Yeah. Because like that's the sort of age when I was like starting to wear a bit of makeup.
Yeah.
And caring about clothes and stuff. Like
got my first training bra, you know? All that fun stuff. Yeah, but then I would say 13 to 17 would be teenager.
Yeah.
18 to 26 would be young adult.
All right.
And I might even give you up until 30.
I would.
I feel like young adult is also like that could be, because I'm 30.
So
I'm going to be 36 in August. And do I feel like an adult? Absolutely not.
No, me neither. I'm 31 and I don't. No. I'm not. I'm not an adult.
But I'd say like by the time you hit like young adult would be like, you're not quite settled into your career yet. And, you know, like an adult would be like, okay, like I have my career. Maybe I've bought a house. Maybe I'm starting a family, like that kind of stuff. So I'd say like 30 could be the cutoff for that. And then
that upsets me so much as well.
Adult would be like, a huge age range because I feel like adult is like 30 to 65.
Yeah.
And then 65 and up would be elder.
You see, in my head, I like to break up the young adult, teen thing a bit more. Mm-hmm. But I say that teen is up until 20. Okay. Like 19. You're a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, even though if you're starting university, you turn into a young adult, and that means, like, in the UK, you're 18.
Yeah, when that's where it hits me, too. That's the only reason why
it's a bit of a grey area.
Yeah.
What the hell would my dream pack be?
Yeah, what would your dream pack be?
For me, I feel like it would be, like, kits or... I think kits would suit my brain best. I can't think of one EP that's like, I want a whole pack all centered around this thing.
I feel like we're at the point in the life of The Sims 4 where we have too many packs that interact with each other in maybe not so great ways sometimes.
Well, I installed The Sims yesterday on my new gaming laptop, and... It said it was going to take 45 minutes to install.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, that's a long time, considering all my other games, like on Steam, take like up to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then when it was done, it was like finalizing. And then it went installing the Desert Lux kit. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? It hasn't done any of the expansions yet. So I had another 54 things to download, and I don't even own them all.
That's
54?
Absurd.
54.
That's
what the
too
fuck?
much.
That's too much.
Yeah. Like, it's to the point where I open the calendar in the game and I'm like, why are there 9 bajillion things on this calendar?
It's confusing.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. But too many things don't integrate together and it annoys me. I want things to be better. Do you know one pack that is genius? Totally genius to me is the paranormal stuff pack.
Yeah.
It should have been a game pack, in my opinion, but to be honest, it has more content than some of the old game packs, and it was half the price, so I'm not knocking it. But the way that the cats and dogs work in that pack is amazing. Yeah. I had a cat and a dog when I was doing my playthrough of the paranormal stuff, and they get freaked out by the stuff, and they will start hissing at things that supposedly aren't there. Oh, it's really... Paranormal stuff pack is top tier.
Yeah, I was not looking forward to that one when it was announced, but after I got it, it grew on me. I still don't use a lot of it. Like, I don't use the medium skill or anything like that, but I do enjoy a lot of the things that came with that pack.
Oh, the build, buy, and the cast.
Yeah.
It's that lovely bohemian hippie shit that
it's perfect.
I dig that. Lovely, chef's kiss. What would be my dream pack, though? I think I would... If I worked on The Sims and I had complete creative control, I think I would make kits of weird little shit. Like maybe gameplay kits, like maybe like Bust the Dust but done better. I don't know. Like I think that there's things missing. Like we need bands. We need a band kit.
Yes.
Well, a band game pack.
Yeah.
And it would be cool if it was a bit like kind of a cross between Get Famous and Vampires, where you could like build up, and maybe a bit like Get Together with the clubs.
Yes.
Like you have to find all the different parts of your band depending on what music you play, and you have to like phone up like that. Okay, so game pack, I would love a band game pack, but that's not really my dream because that's been done. Like that's not like a completely original idea. But I would like a specific like sewing game pack.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Like you get a sewing machine, and there's a few different outfits that you can sew on it, a bit like Nifty Knitting. But, you can have like boxes of fabric and like a ribbon box and stuff. Because just like little things. Because we got the craft pack, supposedly, but that was so specific to knitting.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't knit that much.
Yeah. And then we got the cross stitch with cottage living. Like we've gotten bits and pieces of something like that, but...
There's no dressmaking. I want to have a dressmaking stand, and I want to be able to put clothes on it and see it like, a dress develop as I'm sewing it. So that would be really cute.
Yeah, that would be
different
cute.
crafts like that. And What else? I don't know. God, I'm just trying to think about what would I want my sim to do. And I guess build by kits of like specific things. Because there's just some things that just don't exist. I would love to have different periods of history.
Oh, yeah.
Say if you're doing, because like people who are doing like the decades challenge and stuff, you've got to use almost entirely custom content for that. And it'll be really cute to have like, you know, because also if you want Victorian architecture stuff, you've got to buy vampires. Yes. Which if you don't care about having vampires in your game, it's a lot of money. Well, yeah.
Don't sleep on Strangerville.
No, Strangerville is like one of my absolute favorite packs, but it's so American. Like the architecture from that, you couldn't put that in a UK house. It would look completely wrong.
No, but that would be like our style of Victorian building.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But like for me, if I'm thinking about houses that look like near where I live, the packs I would need would be cottage living, quite obviously, because I live in kind of a cottagey place. Vampires, so I can have the Victorian things. And get together for like the more medieval, you know, Tudor.
Yeah.
Shit. That shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Maybe we could think on that for next time we do this podcast, which might be in a month. That was our original plan.
Yeah, we'll have to get some more. I'm sure we'll get more questions before then, because I literally just tweeted that out last night. And I was like, I hope to God some people ask us questions, because otherwise we have nothing to talk about.
And we can talk about like news and stuff, but there's a lot of shit going on right now.
Yeah, it's too much. And I also don't watch like trailers and things like that, so I'm not prepared to talk about that stuff.
No, Renee likes to be surprised.
I do.
I like to know everything.
No, I hate it. I want to experience it myself.
I get annoyed when I find out like 5 years in that there's been a secret thing I didn't know how to do. Like, I'm like, for fuck's sake, I could have done that the whole time. That would have been really cute.
No, I love discovering things.
Yeah. It's because you actually play the game, I think.
Probably.
I mainly do, like, like when a new pack comes out, I don't go, ooh, what's the gameplay? I go, ooh, what's the build? Yeah. And I build stuff with it. And so, therefore, I go straight through debug, and I see all of the hidden things that you would have, and I watch people. Simproved does amazing, really long deep dives when she gets early access to the packs. They're amazing, and she will go through every single item in debug. Yeah, from a new pack, and I'm like, thank you, because it gets my ideas going. I also have a real problem with actually doing the things from the new pack when a new pack comes out. Like I was so excited to make cottages when Cottage Living came out, and then I just kind of had an allergic reaction to cottages for like 6 months. I was just like, everyone's doing it, and I don't know. Yeah, it's not that I'm like, I want to be original. Something just makes me go, there's too much of this out there. Even doing it for my own personal gameplay, it just doesn't feel like something that I'm inspired by at that time, because I've seen so much of it. It just overloads me. Too much. Too many cottages.
Yeah, no. And especially when people get early access, like, oh, okay, people have already been watching cottages being built for the last week or two. Why do I feel like I need to now do that after it's been done already?
Yeah, and when you don't get early access, you cannot compete with that.
No, you cannot.
Why am I being hot on the trends?
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to win that. And, like, I might as well just come out with something really weird, like were hamsters.
Yes.
I need to do more of that. I never actually played with them. I just made a family of really weird things.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, how are we going to finish this?
Yeah, we did a good job, I think, on our first one. I don't know. I guess people will tell us if we did a good job or not.
And I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah, on the Guilty as Sim podcast. That's Absolutely. The name. That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Cool.
That's the end, I guess.
End.
End.